Picture this. The FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, walks into a polling unit in Karshi, Abuja on election morning. The sun is up. INEC officials are seated and ready. Everything is set. There is just one problem. There are almost no voters. Not a trickle, not a crowd, just empty plastic chairs and quiet air where the voices of over 1.5 million registered voters should have been. Wike looks around, greets the officials, and asks the question already on everyone's mind. How is the turnout? The NYSC Corps member does not hesitate. Very low, sir. Only about 10% of registered voters came out. And Wike, the man who is never short of words, goes quiet for just a moment. Then he repeats it. Only 10%? Like a man who ordered a full party and got one guest. That single exchange on Saturday, February 21st, 2026 became the defining image of the FCT Area Council elections. Over 1.68 million registered voters across 6 area councils were expected to step out and decide 68 elective positions, including 6 chairmanship seats and 62 councillorship roles. Instead, Abuja city center polling units looked like they were set up for a rehearsal, not a real election. Now, here is where it gets interesting, because this did not happen out of nowhere. The night before the election, Wike announced on national television that from 8 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Saturday, there would be a restriction of human and vehicular movement across the FCT. He said it came from the president himself. He said it was for security, but what he may not have fully calculated was how ordinary Abuja residents would interpret that message when they woke up Saturday morning trying to decide whether it was even safe to step outside and vote. For many people, the answer was simple: stay home. Armed police officers were spotted at Liberty Junction in Kubwa, physically blocking residents from moving, including those trying to reach their polling units. One voter captured the mood plainly, saying people were not sure if they could come out freely, so many decided it was not worth the risk. That fear stayed with a large chunk of Abuja's voting population all the way to counting time. Dr. Moses Paul, the ADC chairmanship candidate for AMAC, came out and blamed the movement restriction directly for the low numbers, saying it stripped eligible voters from a practical opportunity to exercise their democratic rights. But Wike pushed back firmly. He insisted he never imposed a curfew. He said it was a federal directive, not a personal decision, and pointed to the satellite towns, areas like Keti, where turnout was noticeably better, as proof that the real issue is long-standing voter apathy in urban centers during off-cycle elections, not something he created. And honestly, the historical data does support part of that argument. In the 2019 Abuja Council elections, AMAC's city center recorded just 11.5% turnout. Some areas hit as low as 9% in 2022. So the ghost town look of certain polling units on Saturday is not entirely new. It is a pattern that speaks to something deeper about how Nigerians relate to local government democracy. But knowing that history exists does not excuse what happened on Saturday, and that is exactly where Senator Ireti Kingibe drew the line. The senator, who represents the FCT in the National Assembly, came out with words that cut through all the back and forth. She described Wike's movement restriction as authoritarian, ill-considered, and completely unacceptable in a society that calls itself a democracy. She argued that a minister cannot wake up the night before an election, restrict the movement of millions without proper consultation, and then stand before cameras, acting surprised that nobody showed up to vote. Sources also revealed that she and Wike had a heated phone conversation over the matter, one that by all accounts did not end on good terms. When a sitting senator is publicly calling a minister's decision authoritarian, that's not a small disagreement. That's a signal that something has gone seriously wrong in how power is being exercised in the nation's capital. If this story is giving you something to think about, make sure you subscribe to this channel right now and hit the notification bell, because every week we bring you the stories that go deeper than the headline, and you do not want to miss what's coming next. The one thing virtually everyone agreed on is that the election itself was peaceful. No ballot snatching, no violence, no thuggery. INEC was praised, security agencies were commended, and the results when they began coming in showed a contest between APC and ADC that was tighter than many had predicted, a quiet but clear signal that the 2027 political season has already begun. But beneath all of that, what this election truly exposed is a trust gap that no amount of peaceful voting can paper over. When a minister restricts movement the night before polling day, even with the best security intentions, and wakes up to 10% turnout, something fundamental in the relationship between leadership and the people has broken down. A democracy is only as strong as its citizens have confidence that showing up is safe, simple, and worth it. When that confidence cracks, people stay home. And when people stay home, the winners are not chosen by the will of the majority. They are chosen by whoever was brave enough, or informed enough, or unbothered enough to show up. That's not democracy. That's a selection. Now, we are taking this straight to the comment section, and we want you to pick a side. Team 1, the movement restriction is directly responsible for the low turnout, and Wike owes Abuja residents an explanation. Team 2, this is Nigeria's old voter apathy problem, and the restriction is just a convenient excuse. Drop your number in the comments, share this video with someone who needs to hear the story, and if you haven't liked this video yet, do it now. It helps more Nigerians find content like this. We'll be back with more.